All right. Today we're talking about Jesus coming as a king, right? So let's move on. All right. Okay. So timeline is like the cross is Jesus' death. So right before Jesus' death, it's like that last week before his death. So we're talking about that week. So let's move on. So we're talking about the Son of Man. The Son of Man from which book? The book of?
Daniel.
All right, thank you, Joshua. All right, book of Daniel. The Son of Man came from Daniel chapter 7. So now this Son of Man wanted as on one day as his disciples, like, oh, when you go somewhere, a certain area, you will find this donkey and his baby, and ask them, bring them, untie them and bring them to me, but not the big one, the mommy one, the baby one. No one rode it, right? So the Jesus disciple went and he gave extra instructions. So this is not he didn't own it, but God already prepared. So he's like, if someone asks you, oh, why are you taking donkey, or why are you taking baby donkey? And it's like, oh, Lord will need it. Lord needs him. So if you say it, they will let you take it. So they say it, and the owner was okay, take it. So they took it, and they brought this mommy and mommy and baby, but this is actually fulfillment of the Old Testament. Zechariah is another prophet. He exactly right. Matthew quote this Zechariah's prophecy, right? So he said, yes, the lowly king, the very humble king, riding on a donkey, on a colt, right? Baby donkey, a fall of a donkey. So he already wrote like 100 years ago, and this is fulfilled, right? So Jesus rode a donkey, as Joshua reminded us. Jesus rode on it, and then people waving and shouting, "Blessed is the name." Pastor Paul talked about it, right? So there are people shouting, they're like waving this palm tree leaf, and they put their clothes on the floor, and all those things happen. And they were like welcoming. So palm tree and all this ceremony is actually for the king. But why Jesus rode a donkey, not a like white horse, or like this gorgeous like luxurious horse, but donkey? We'll find out, right? But this Pharisees, Jewish leader, they don't like it because they don't trust that Jesus is the Messiah. So it's like when people like, oh, Messiah, Hosanna, and they don't like it. They are very grumble and cranky and angry. But anyway, so Jesus went into the Jerusalem, right? So when he went into Jerusalem, actually, when he was about to, and then Pastor Paul said he cried, right? Because this like Jerusalem, the temple itself is a symbol of the Jewish people, right? But they don't trust, like they don't believe Jesus is the Lord. So anyway, he cried for those people because his own people, but they don't believe Jesus is the Lord. So, and Jesus went into temple, and this temple became a market, like produce junction or something. It's like everything, everywhere they're selling. So think about our church becoming a market. Can we let them do it? No. So Jesus pulled out his robe. Jesus saw his heart, and all those people, like Jewish people, like they want money. So they were like selling all these things very high rate, and they get all the money from people. So Jesus took the robe, and he whipped the animals like to leave the temple, and then he flipped the table, right? All those things, like very violent things. So Jesus was doing everything's went away. And now Jewish people, let's kill the man, right? So they are planning. And kids, they shouted more, and they get angry at him more. So this like they're planning, this plotting is like keep going, and then they'll probably contact Judah soon. Anyway, so Jesus came as a king. So that's one part, like the on that day, the Sunday. I mean, not their Sunday, but the Palm Sunday we celebrate. That day he came as a king on a donkey, like baby donkey. No one ride before, and couple days later, so we as for us, it's a kind of Thursday, and he took bread and wine, this the Last Supper thing, right? So we talk about this thing. We have to know the Passover. Do you remember what's where the Passover from where? The book of anybody? Elliot, you're muted.
Genesis?
Genesis, one more, one up.
Exodus.
Oh yes, Exodus. Yes, so they were slave in Egypt, right? So with the all the plagues after, and the Pharaoh's heart got hardened. So the last plague, right before last plague, this Egyptian, all those plagues like blood, a frog, a bug, and everything, it didn't work. So last one was like the killing the first one, like all the like living thing, right? So before that, he gave the Jewish people instruction, right? So put this the sacrificial lamb, the Passover lamb, and the doorpost, right? Door frame. And that's the right? The spirit of death is gonna pass over that door. So this sacrificial blood will save that house. So while they're doing that, their inside house, like they have to rush, so they don't even have like time to ferment, like make bread fermented. So they have to eat this hard bread and then very bitter, kind of like a plant or kind of like namu kind of thing. So anyway, so those are the Passover. They celebrate this Passover, and they are liberated, so they became free. So that's the story behind. So God told them to keep this Passover to remember who made them free, right? So that was the intention. So the Jewish people, they've been observing this Passover. So Jesus told his disciple Peter, John, the famous people, I mean the active people, as a prepare Passover meal in the upper room. So they met this random person. I mean, Jesus told them, yeah, there will be another a person who carried the water jar, and ask him, and he will let you go into this room, upper room. So like after real Passover, actually their position is like this, because Passover, they rushed, and they didn't even have a time to knead and all those like fermentation and all those things. So now they are free. So this is their like kind of position, like they're kind of leaning towards the kind of like a sideway, and they're relaxing, and okay, now we are free, like presenting. But anyway, so this is the Last Supper. So Jesus, everyone ate, and then he stood up and he broke the bread. This is my body, eat, right? And he gave him, and then after finished that, he lifted up the cup, and then he gave it to them, like probably share the cup. This is my blood of, and drink and remember that I will relieve you. So, but this is, they probably didn't understand why he does, right? Why he did. But now we know why he did, right? So the bread and blood is, he said, this is my body, this is my blood. So Jesus became this sacrificial lamb, right? So he's gonna shed his blood for them. So now they're not just getting set free from Pharaoh, the human kingdom, but we will set free, be free from death, the sin, right? So this is kind of like representing the whole Jesus ministry, his mission on earth. So we do still the same thing. What do we call? What do we call it? The adult, they having this a little cup of wine and a little bit of bread.
Communion.
Okay, yes, communion. So communion is the remembrance of Jesus' ministry, his death and resurrection. He became the sacrificial lamb. All right, Onyu, do you have a question? You've been holding your hands up. No, okay.
Last week,
oh yeah.
we were learning about something before Jesus was even born. Now, why are we talking about like when he was
Because it's
announced?
Palm Sunday.
Oh, good question. Yes,
Oh.
kind of like the time zone is, yeah, it's kind of like a back and forth.
Mhm.
Yes. So yes, we know now it's a whole story, but we trying to go back the last week and then we try to focus what happened each day kind of thing. All right, Jill, do you have a question?
Is the two leftover slots, one's Judah and one's Jesus's?
That's what I thought.
Oh,
One's
maybe. Okay, good chance. But
No, but there's 11 people already.
I truly believe Judah was there when he broke the bread and we because there is a passage that
So
when
why are there two empty beds?
yeah, I think
it's because I
this
counted all the people. I think those are the disciples. There are 11 of them.
Yeah, I
One's
know
missing
there's
on the
only
bed.
11.
And then if there's two, the other one is Jesus, I think.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so
think
I thought
the
Judah was
picture,
missing.
yeah, okay, all right, I'll explain. So I think the picture that the artist wanted to express is as you guessed, yes, one is Judah. He took the cup and he took the bread and then he left, right? So he wanted to do, and then one for Jesus. Yes, so take it that way. Good. All right, thanks for getting all those good observation. Thank you. All right, so key point. Jesus came as king, but rode on a donkey, right? Not a white horse or like gorgeous horse, but donkey. And but this is a fulfillment of Old Testament, right? And now this Jewish people, I mean, Jesus clean the temple because this greedy heart, like people were full of idols, like money, fame, authority, and all this power. That's why he had to clean this. This is like a representing his because he told us to repent, right? So we're kind of he like cleaned up the temple and then he's showing like we kind of get rid of all these idols from our hearts, so make our body the temple clean. So that's the thing. And then he did the bread and wine, say bread and wine, my body and my blood. So that's the remembrance of the Passover when they left Egypt, right? So the night before they left Egypt. So we are still remembering. I mean, we're doing communion to remember because we're so forgetful. Gio, do you have a question?
I also have a question because in the Superbook it also Judah left before Jesus did the thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for letting us know. All right.
And
So
also for the Superbook.
okay, keep watching it. Good. All right. So Jesus came as a king. King. Jesus is our king. Jesus is my king. But why he rode a? Oh, Daniel. Okay, we're almost done. So why he rode a donkey? Because he came as a most humble man in the world in all history. So he's a god, but he became man. That already proves that he's the most humble person. But then now he rode a donkey, like representing, yes, I came to serve, I came to die. So that's like very big symbol, not white horse, not like chariot, like as a like normal human king.
Stallion.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that was the story. And I hope you